what's been stolen from me, little by little, piece by piece, until I'm complete. Got my eyes on you, and you got no clue what I'm supposed to do. I can't help myself. Little by little, piece by piece, I take back what's been stolen from me. Little by little, piece by piece, until I'm complete. No, you wouldn't take what's not yours, if you know who I am. When the night will fall, I'll haunt your dreams. Little by little, piece by piece, I take back what's been stolen from me. Little by little, piece by piece, until I'm complete.
Testing 1, 2. Ding-a-ling-a-ling. Come here, Bessie. Over this way.
Till I'm complete. Piece by piece, I take back. Little by little, piece by piece, I take back. Little by little, piece by piece, I take back. Little by little, piece by piece.
Please fill my cup. Am I really asking for much? It's been a long week, I'm looking for fun. Please fill my cup, find me under the sun. SOS, I'm just looking for a good time. Oh, 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 and I'm singing like whoa, oh, oh, oh. Lit check, been a minute, let me hit the homies in a group text. 10 years, same team, true vets. Got a couple trophies, but no chains on the neck. No. Got a couple Cardis, we don't flood with baguettes. It's a very small world, so my hand holds. Wake up, make the money, that's a man's role. Loyalty and love is what I stand for. Can't forget about trust, but first, please fill my cup. Am I really asking for much? It's been a long week, I'm looking for fun. Please fill my cup, find me under the sun. SOS, I'm just looking for a good time. Oh, 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 and I'm singing like whoa, oh, oh, oh. It's the weekend, we've been working. I'll be posted, fire side. Bring my boys in, bring your girls in. We'll be posted up all night. Limited edition, not the regular one. We shut down the city like when presidents come. I am not a rookie, I'm a veteran, bro. Promise I'ma take it easy later on. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Please fill my cup. Am I really asking for much? It's been a long week, I'm looking for fun. Please fill my cup, find me under the sun. SOS, I'm just looking for a good time. Oh, 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 and I'm singing like whoa, oh, SOS, oh, please fill my cup.
Damn, feeling lucky. How about most streets? Us two in these trees. Diamonds on my feet. Caught up in these talks. Circling my head top. Should've been more cautious. Now I got what I wanted. Many I've been here before. Made it out of 11 more. Like my phone CoinEx. So I can't stop, I want it all. Listen up, I'm calling you. I need you to tell the truth. Remember when you wanted to. Remember that I said was you. Cooked you up the perfect time. I was watching it down. You know what you're going through. But I can never be around. Got me being realized. Girl, you got me so blind. Turn and eat your greens. When you fight, but you do be clean. Then you come to the bed and you love feel dirty. It's everybody sweater drops, you'll be.
For those that haven't hit that like button, I'm so sorry. Thank you very much. Another red day in the market. Prices just falling like raindrops from the sky on a Friday. Yay. Welcome everyone to Late Night Crypto. My name is Lane. I am the road dog here to help you avoid the mistakes that I've made in the past. A full-time trader and investor who's also feeling the pain of what you may be going through right now. The only people happy here are the smart people who were shorting and hopefully shorting from the tops. And even right now, they're kind of like, what's going on? What's it doing? It's stuck. It's odd and it's so hard. Nobody said this was going to be easy. Nobody said you're just going to get lucky. You can get lucky. But we are literally in a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. And in my opinion, we qualified. There are signs saying, maybe just hold on. It's getting ready to happen. Just hold on. You know, that 4-year cycle, we after that happening, you know, 6 months in, we start seeing oh my God, that big boner candle that just takes us up like crazy. I've seen it. And I know it's real. And it feels like this before that. It does. The other scenario is, oh crap, man. Was that it? Dude, is this all? And I remember that too, man. I remember that too in cycles past, especially the last cycle. I like to come here on the daily time frame and just relive my past according to the charts, because that's the best way that I can remember it and associate the events of my life with what Bitcoin price was doing. It sounds weird and probably pitiful if you think about it too much. I try not to think about it too much, therefore it doesn't bother me. She was great when she was up at 20,000, right, man? And then we came up to 14 with a little fake out, had COVID and all. So I'm not going to run through the whole history of Bitcoin or bore you or anything, but we are right up here at that area, man, fighting with those all-time highs. Right here. Right here. It wasn't as long, I don't believe, as what we've been through here. It only lasted about a month, but it was scary nonetheless. Uncertain because you're at all-time highs and you got, well, we just met our all-time high. And when it broke above it just a wee little bit to get you hopeful, she jumped back right back down. It fell, and that was a 20% dump from 20 back to 15. But once you get back to 15 and hanging around this area, you know, we're like, oh. There was another area that was a little bit more like what we're going through, in my personal opinion, and that was over here in 2021. Came back and touched that 50 moving average here on the daily. That was kind of scary. A little similar, but you know, she had this big old, this was F2 pull coming in and dumping and 27% drop. Oh man, lots of people got liquidated, got scared. We started making a little recovery, then another big ass drop. And we're like, what's going on, man? Total of 32% coming out. Now that's more akin to what we've seen recently in the market. And we come back over to the present day situation. Let me finagle. Been working on how to figure that word into my speech tonight, or to my program tonight, finagle. And here we are. And we go from over here at this high. We'll talk about this in just a second. We talked about that pattern when it happened. It seems true to form. And we had a 33% drop from there. So what you're feeling is not new. It was felt before. Another rewind. Before a big run up. A crazy run up. However, there are some different signs back there that, you know, we're not really seeing over here. We got some kind of other signs going on, not really in our favor. And I can understand why we're, you know, there's no 50 moving average here on the daily for support. We lost that a long time ago. There's no 200 daily moving average for support. We lost that a long time ago. And so it's scary. Now we got Wyckoff theory out there saying that this is just the reaccumulation, meaning what we just looked at basically in the other thing. It was kind of like, you know, they're just reaccumulating before they drive prices up. And that theory treats this whole thing more as like a channel, a sideways channel. And that's fine, you know, as a pattern trader. And channels should be one of the first things that we learn. Definitely one of the most accurate things out there to go by, if you want my personal opinion. So a little channel idea, you know, you got a little tops up here. And then you got a bottom range, and, you know, since we kind of started down here, we were down here, and then we came up and had a little hiccup area. We'll start there. That's a good place. Somewhere through here-ish. And we're in a makeshift range. There were some other places. People playing the range before were playing right through here, but now that little range played out. But in the Wyckoff theory, it's not so much a pattern itself as we normally think of patterns, but it's more of a series of events, and they have something called a spring. Then that's what we're all hoping and secretly praying, if I'm being honest, that this was the spring event. But here we are coming back for a retest idea. And it was, I was looking at this little wick down here, man. Ideally, I would have loved to seen us bounce off of that. We didn't bounce. We went through. We went lower, but we're above it now, but we went lower. Now, ideally, I would have liked to have seen it make a higher low there, but be honest with you, I will take a higher low any which way that we can get it. Now, the question is, are we at a higher low, or should we just give it up? This is the weekend. They're going to drive us down to zero. We might as well just sell everything right now. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. We'll get a little. We got some hopium coming, but there's a little dose of reality we got to look at. That's my title tonight, and I'm sticking with it. And perhaps then I can explain it just a little bit right here. Now, going back over before we get too far, when we were talking about patterns and whatever, we had this little thing when we first got up. Now, whenever we do get a nice move out of Bitcoin, one of the things that's so hard for us to do is take profits on that initial move, and oftentimes you will find that initial move is the one that pays the most, right? After that move gets broken and everything, it's just going to be a chop, right? Remember when I'm just throwing out some ideas for the next time. You have these little trend lines that we try to track these little guys, and price respects the hell out of them. They really do. But you track it as far as you can, and you probably could have took profit many times. Oh, I thought that was it. Oh, I thought that was it. Oh, I thought that was it. But, you know, paying yourself over through here would have been the best thing in retrospect. And we'd always say that, right? But there was a little pattern idea, and that's the first thing that we looked at over here. I'm getting rid of all these little lines. I don't need them right now. And it's called a triple top. Now, a lot of people go, oh, head and shoulder or whatever, but you know, you got the head is usually in between the shoulders if you want to look at it that way. It's a triple top, but it's got a nicer measure, a little bit bigger of a better measured move. But it is a signal of, hey man, you kind of reach as far as you're going to go, right, y'all? And that's what that means, and that's exactly what we got. That was the first warning signals. The other ones was if this being a Fibonacci area right up here for resistance that we took that says, hey man, this is an area that probably gonna be hard to get past, which has definitely been true. So the signs were there early on, and we've even talked about them and everything, and she just felt so bullish. It was so easy to ignore paying ourselves. It was easy for me to ignore paying myself as well. I did, but I kept and this whole time I'm just like, man, I just need to get in the habit of paying myself more. And it's a process, and I encourage everybody to get in the habit, because that's the one way that you will round trip your coins if you don't get in the habit of paying yourself. We got some other ideas to look at, trend lines that come down, and that can suggest, oh my gosh, we're coming down to 44,000. We'll get there in a minute. That's what everybody is afraid of right now. Since we made a higher low, we can make a lower low, and that's valid. That's the scare we got. Well, we got that idea. I'm going to give you just a little bit of hopium today. Because we need a little bit of hopium. Because there's some bearish things going on here too, man. The first bearish thing I want to bring to your attention is this 200 moving average. Look, all my moving averages are flip-flopped. We flipped the ribbon, folks. This is on the daily time scale. If there's ever a warning sign, that and some of the bigger time frames, that's one to take a listen to. Now, does that mean we drop right now and go crazy down and it's all over? No. But it does mean we got to be cautious and play this right, and that the next bump up is probably going to roll over on us again too. We can probably expect several rollovers, in my opinion, unless Mr. Wyckoff wants to come in and shoot us to the moon, which I am all for. I am all for that, because I'm not trying to short all this. All the short action was, to be on the toppy tops. And now we're coming at the bottom, so the shorts are kind of lackluster right now, in my personal opinion. I mean, clearly not earlier today or the past few days. You've been making out like a bandit if that's been your play. Congratulations, you could. Looky here, let me get rid of this little rangy thing. Got a little play in it there. Let's break out our fib, and let me give you your first dose of hopium. So although hoping so much that I can't do it, can I? I can do a line. That this little guy right here, what's that little guy? Will you move for me? Why are you not moving for me? I clicked you. I'm just trying to get a line. Put it right on that wick. Can you see the wick? This big wick that was on Friday, the 5th of July. The big dump, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. It sucks. In the middle of summer, and here we are. And that's where we are right now, back at those areas. And we wicked below it and came back above it. Now we're finding some temporary support there. Why is that a big... Well, wicking below it wasn't a good thing. Closing the candle below it, definitely not a good thing. But let me show you something about this wick where it came to. It's a good sign. Especially if you're into the Wyckoff theory of that idea. That's a good sign that, hey man, we might be onto something. Boy, that worked a lot better on my other chart than on this chart. She was a lot more beautiful and lined up perfectly on another chart. Oh well. Charts will vary from point to point, but a 786 area. Where was that? Over here? Oh well. Oh, this is another idea. You just lost your place, didn't you, mister? Oh man. Did we really? Oh, we got a reverse button. We'll be fine. Just give me a second. We'll just go back up here. There we are. We're back. Which one is it? You're way down here. I'm gonna put you up here, baby. Had to find a clean chart to express these ideas. So tighten up my field lines, probably knocks it down a little bit. But swing low to swing high. Tell me where we need to buy. We lost our 618, but we did come right down to the 786 area. There's a chance that we're in a bouncy zone. We may come back down to 252. It may happen. I'm looking on the daily time frame, and it's telling me, hey man, yeah, that could happen. It could happen. Look at our indicators here on the daily. They're plastered to the bottom. Stochastic's buried at the bottom. Money flow has just now flipped red. Now that I'm not a fan of. That I'm not a fan of. On such a big time frame, I'm not a fan. I'll be honest with you. So are we out of the woods yet? Is there any kind of hope? I think we might have a chance for a relief rally, if you will. Now, whether it carries forward, I mean, there's two theories here, right? This is a higher low, which it is. Boom, we need that. But not only do we need that, we also need a higher high, not only this high, but also back up here at 70,000. So if we're not going to see something, money come in and really start driving us up, then we got the chances to roll over. Now, lucky for you, I can spell out and price predict where those areas are using the magical road dog techniques here on this channel, because we got all the information that we need to figure this out right now. So let's try to figure out what Bitcoin may or may not be doing. We're on the weekend, don't know what's going on, getting some mixed signals in this market, and we just need a little edge. It could be good, it could be bad. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you go in now and start going in heavy, yeah, this is the time, and she rollovers and goes back to 44,000, you're like, ah. If you're waiting for 44,000, you're like, I ain't going to do it right now. I'm just going to sit. I may even sell off some, buy it cheaper. And then she takes off from here. You're screwed. They got you right where they want you. Perfectly right where they want you. And that's the fact of it. Now, are you going to freak out and let your emotions get to you? Because that's the first thing that we seem to do, especially if there's some leverage involved and we start freaking out. And, oh my God. All those emotions just they go to 11. Leverage takes it to 11, baby. This one goes to 11 with leverage. But my, I like what I'm seeing here. I like that we're bouncing off in there. That looks good. Ichimoku Cloud says, baby, I can't wait to dunk you down. So we know it's a coming. We know something's a coming. If we kind of break this down and what has happened, if we're looking at some ideas, price action wise, well, we started getting into this downward channel here. Now, normally those are good. Normally those would break to the upside, except this one didn't. It broke to the downside. I'm thinking my lucky stars is she finally stopped here, because really when she breaks to the downside of a pattern, a bullish pattern going the wrong way, that's usually a parabolic move the other way. That still may be on the way. Don't get it twisted. There may be a bearish retest in the works at the present moment. This is what the Ichimoku Cloud suggests. Then we might be coming right back up here to 55, 700, somewhere through there. And we could roll over easy there. So what are the signs that we need to look for? Who said you were going to give us the secrets? You were going to give us the magic points with the magic road dog technique. I just gonna pull up my fibs and play with it and see if you guys stuck around. If you stick around, that's cool and everything. And I guess I won't tell anybody if you don't. You know, swing high, the swing low. Tell me where prices gotta go, baby. Same places we just looked at. Now, the first place, the first sign of danger, if we can't get past 55,500-ish, if we cannot get past that, they'll look for some lower numbers to be a coming. Now, off the bat, I'm going to be looking at 49.47. I can fine-tune that after we, you know, kind of solidify these ideas. Or in just a second, I'll just go ahead and throw it out there. Second place of concern here. Checking, making sure the microphone is on. Is right under this area, and you can see where she's just been having a fuss trying to hold it and break through it and all that. This 382 area. Now, if she cannot make it over here, I know we could look and hope for as much as we want to for a double bottom, maybe, but chances are, I mean, if she can't even make it up past that, after all this is down. No bueno. So 55.5, 55.450 is very important, right? Second area that we need to get up to is this 57,300-ish. That little guy. If we can't... Now, you got a little bit more of a chance up here. It looks like we're getting a little bit more of a recovery. Okay. But now if she starts losing this area, we can pull a fib there too and get some areas. But basically, she just comes back and she breaks back below that 55 thing, and then, well, we're probably basically anytime we start losing 55, we're probably going to be coming back down here, especially even if we get above it and come back and revisit it. Does that make sense? So that's what we get now. Hopefully, we are looking for trying to get enough steam to eventually make, probably not this weekend. I would seriously doubt that it will happen this weekend. Maybe earlier next week, by midweek, Monday, Tuesday, something like that. Maybe 60,000. Maybe. That's our hopeful situation. That would give us, that would be a nice sign. Now, if we make it up there, what should we do? Should we go balls deep, or we recovered, we're ready to go to the moon now? I wouldn't jump in there, because that is still a rollover area there at 60,200. And I say it like that because we have to zoom out and look at the bigger time frames, and there are some bullish signs. There's some bearish signs. There's some bearish things going on in the world too, and that's not what my focus is on. My main focus is what I see on these charts, and I listen to the concern about the bearish stuff in the markets and things unwinding, and I know some of it's manipulation, some of it is a warning of things that could happen, so you need to pay attention to that stuff. My biggest concerns, there are signs on the bigger time frames. There's some signs on the price action itself if you zoom out and look. If you're not going to be so blind, and really, if you zoom out, let's get rid of the fib so we can see this. We gotta be real. Let's think about this. We know that price travels in channel. I think we prove that all the time on here. We've got a channel, and this is a trend line that we've been following here, right? Probably can extend it on. Well, I'm going so much from right here to here. Extending that, I got 3 touches there. That would be the most relevant to these moves. Now I take this idea, I'm going to blow them up real thick and pretty. We'll paint him red to be, kind of out there. And we take him and we throw him up here and just land him right on top of whatever biggest candle body we got. I'm here on the weekly and do this and adjust it for whatever. Looking at that idea, well, we were at top of a channel here and lost it. We were at top of a channel here and lost it. Is there any wonder that we would be at the top of a channel here and lose it as well? Seems kind of natural, doesn't it? It's been our experience looking at channels. We know there's a halfway mark in those channels too. We can look at that idea, but right now, I think, just taking a look at it from this, all the way from this low that we started measuring from, I'm going to the wick. I'm going up to this first top here. Oh, we got a little wiggle room. Well, from swing low to swing high, tell me where I need to buy. She came down, didn't quite touch her 618 Fibonacci. Now I look at that and I'll be like, are you going to come back down and touch it? You probably need to touch it. I'd feel better if you touch it. Please touch it. It didn't have to. And I think that's a bullish sign, actually. And it turned out that it was. Other little signs there saying, oh man, that's a scary time right there. It's like, is it over? I'm not a millionaire. What's happened? Yeah. But she came back to this area and then she got a little bounce. So we know between the 0.5 and the 6. Now when she was wicking down here, she's mainly holding this 0.5 area. Now that's Dow Jones, that's Dow theory, the maker of Dow Jones, Charles Dow. That's his theory that, when you get a nice big impulse move, you'll come back to the 50% line. If we actually go from the actual move from where this started, we could argue that, oh yes, we did touch that 618. Depends on, it's a little subjective there, but very swing low to swing high. This one, first one, is what I go with. We got a second high up, well, so we can expect basically what we're looking at to come back to a 0.5 or a 0.618, right? That's the point of that. I want to go through the whole history of Bitcoin. But let's do the same thing here. Swing low to swing high. What do we got? Tell me where we need to buy. What are those levels? We got a... we got a 618 Fibonacci down here at 37,000. That could throw a kink into some people's plans if they've got some leverage, even the smallest amount of leverage. That could be messing with some people. It could mess with me if we went down there. We also got another one at 44,000. Now that's the one that we're likely to start testing the heaviest. That's right above this little hump, meaning that all this area through here should be some support. And if we turn back just a little bit over here, we can see there was also those areas over here. A lot of congestion there, so there's a lot of buy and sell orders and memories and whatnots and pin-up aggressions in these areas there in those 40s and low 40s. There was a lot of sell pressure right here back at 48 and drove it all the way down to 38. $10,000 difference. Remember that big flush out back then? If you don't, then maybe newer to this market, but those are possibilities. I mean, there are some. We've got a total mixed bag of signals here. Is what I'm trying to tell you. There's some saying, "Hey man, things are good. Just give her some time and let her do what she needs to do. We'll probably be okay." And there's the other side saying, "Hey man, you might need to get ready for the bigger drop." And I hate to be the one that's sitting here talking about it, but that's just being real. We got to at least work that into our plan. Now, if you're holding spot, you're probably not worried about it. Your biggest concern would be, how do I get more dry powder to buy when it gets juicy? But if Bitcoin does tank, can you imagine what it's going to do to these altcoins? And that's another sign we need to look at. So we got some ideas there that there's some danger signs. The most notable danger sign that I'm looking at is on the MACD and some of the bigger time frames we got here on the monthly, because she's wanting to roll over. Now she rolls over, it's never good. That literally kicked off our, that didn't just kick it off, it solidified our bear market when that happened. Too early for a freaking bear market, ain't it? Now, it hasn't crossed yet, so it's not official, and there's a lot of things that can, so the smaller time frames here, the 2 week, the 1 week, can have some influence on it. And I was hoping to see that, but I'm not really seeing it here on the 2 week yet. It looked like we were taking it easy, and now it looks like we started pouring on the gasoline there. I am still looking at this idea of divergence that is on the MACD on the weekly, just on the MACD indicator itself. Now on price action, we know price action is basically coming down. So if you're looking for the divergence on that, it would be on the histogram here. And I don't know that would be enough for a bullish reversal, but it could be enough to slow us down. Maybe get a little run back up before we do take a brunt of a bigger run down. And I think that might be what we're looking at. I mean, these were roller coaster rides here, and we are on a roller coaster. The good news is we're possibly at one of the bottom of the curves, and we may get to come back up a little bit, but it may not be the greatest come up that we want. So it's very critical, in my personal opinion, that we have a plan to pay ourselves and take profits, especially on altcoins, man, because honestly, altcoins are not doing that great. If you're out there thinking, maybe if I can come up with some way to kind of de-risk a little bit so that I can have a little bit more dry powder, not a bad idea. If you've already got dry powder and you're just in spot, well, you're going to see all kinds of good juicy prices on altcoins for the next 4 to 8 weeks anyway. I would say 4 to 6. And so this is my game plan. This is how I'm seeing it, because we do have a bearish flip of these moving averages here. I'm going to flip on the bigger ones and we'll see what they say. And then we got the 360 coming in here. Now, she came in for that big drop that we had back in August 5th, the one that made us poopy our pants. I think I did twice. And now she's leveled up with price as price started making a comeback. And, you know, it pulls the moving averages up too. And now she's right down here. Now, we have not touched her and we don't need to. Did you hear me, Bitcoin? You ain't got to go down there and prove a thing. I would love to see Bitcoin hold above 53,371. This little wick. I know we wick down below it, but if we can hold up above that, I'm going to take that as a positive sign that we're getting a little bit of a rebound. My plan for this rebound is, oh gosh, I guess I will be possibly even shorting on spot margin Bitcoin as we start coming up to 60,000. That would help me de-risk on this little guy. And that way, if we do come up as high as 60,000, could be 57,000, could just be 55,000 where we come up to. And roll over for a possible lower low or retest this area. So many options here. There could be enough buy pressure here to just, you know, what gets wicked often gets candlesticks, so they say. It doesn't have to be today though. I can see something like this trying to form up here, and I'm hoping that it does. Now the plus side to say, well, what about if what would invalidate? What would make this go flip back bullish? Well, those bigger indicators need to start showing some bullish signs, really, and they're not doing it, and it will take a while for them to do that. I mean, that's just being real. It would have to come up and make a higher high. We'd have to get past 65,000. And even then, that's not a promise. She could come up to 65, and if she doesn't hold it, she loses it. Well, we'll just make a higher low. Yeah, maybe. Maybe we could do some stuff like this. That would be great. But she can also just come down and make a lower low than what she had over here too. And just don't think she won't. What do you think she did over here? Well, look, she made a higher high. We're good. Oh, look, we're going to the moon. Look. Oh, wow. Boom, made a lower low. Wasn't higher than this one over here, but neither would this one be, right? The only real thing that's going to invalidate that we've actually broken through all of this is to go back above 74,000 basically. Man, those were the good old days. Didn't we just feel like we were geniuses? Like, yeah, man, this is rocking. This crypto is the thing, man. Yeah, I might start picking out colors for around Lambo. And then here we are like, oh my God. Oh, they were going to have to mortgage the house. Honey, I did stupid. I'm so sorry. I mean, you got some extremes going on, possibly. Now, I'll say this for moving averages, and I keep saying this, even on the bigger time frames, the momentum's there, and they're lined up in sequential order, 800, 600, 300, 200. It's just the 100 and below, and of course, including price, just are not playing ball right. It's almost as if somebody got Bitcoin at a juicy price somewhere around $38,000 and stocked up on it and decided to open up a few ETFs or whatever, and then started, you know, just, I don't know, dumping through another entity just to kind of really know that price action. I don't know. I'm just speculating, putting on my tinfoil hat. Guys, let's check out with the chat and see what you guys have got going on. Let me make sure I get the right chat out here. My bad, should have checked in with you, but I just had to go over Bitcoin, and there's a lot of people with and I mean, seriously, if you're following anybody on YouTube, you're catching both sides, and it's got to be it is confusing. It definitely, they got us here on the weekend. They love to put us in a place of doubt on the weekend, and then the really savvy whales come in and try to play with our heads on the weekend with low liquidity. When the rest of the world catches up with the 24/7 market, then, you know, we'll be on something. We got Strega in the house, who was first. Strega and Sam Webb. Jackson is here. Celinda is here. How's it going, Celinda? We got Trey Spot. So then it says there's a mountain of liquidity at 50,000. And that is right over here in this little zone here, this little hiccup. And I hope that that's true. I hope that seems to be enough. I mean, it got us to wick up from there, and probably had influence with our recent wick that we got up from where we dropped down to what, 52, I think. It's a 52.8, 53 right there. So yeah, we do have this little box. Can you see that? Yeah. I have to look over and see what you guys can see on the screen. Oh man, I got two things going on up there. But you know, that's not a whole lot. That does not calm my nerves when I think of a place where we can put the brakes on the price. It really does not, because there was not much over here between it and 44,000 to 52. It's like that was just a little flag that happened to actually play out, rare as they are. A little unicorn that you rarely ever see running through the forest there. Now looking over here, I would look for something, and I'm like, I'm not sold on that idea. I'm just not. There are some tops down to 48. It really starts getting hairy right around 42, and right in here. That's where all the stuff is at. We can turn on this little guy, the VRVP, which tells us that we should be going down to 18,000. Is this your line? Are these your lines, or are these my lines? Yeah, that's the only lines you got. So I don't really want to talk to him anymore. He's kind of a party pooper. He's like, he just wants to say mean things and make people cry. But I do like this fixed range volume profile. If we take it from our bottom to our tops and where we are, she's also suggesting 43,000, a little bit below that area too. There's a lot more liquidity. There is, and that's what we got to be prepared for. It's in these areas over here that we're going to have that's most likely to stop price from going any further, somewhere around the low 40s, in my personal opinion. I can't really see us going down there, but then again, I couldn't really see us coming all the way down here. I was expecting 58 to hold us. I was hoping 58 would hold us. It looked like 58 could hold us, and I thought, okay, 58 should be a good place to probably hold us. Put some orders in there. And then we find ourselves down at 48, and I'm like, what the hell? Somebody did not go by the game plan, and I filed a report, I filed a grievance, and I haven't heard anything back at all from the Bitcoin Foundation. So don't think about it. You're going to write the Bitcoin Foundation. They don't give a freak. They're not even going to give you a proper response. But I do like the area I do like the idea. We've caught an area that may help us bounce a little bit, and maybe we'll do it over this weekend. So this is where I'm starting to look at the 4 hour, and it probably makes a little bit more sense here. I'd like to get back to the actual chart that I was playing with. Yeah, I was playing on this one. We had the Batman ears over here with our little toppy top. We were talking about, we got this. We had an angle from another place, or connected the dots and resistance, and I know we're above Lucy line and looks like we could just go to the moon, but we didn't. When you follow what we had there, it was a triangle pattern. If you take the measure move there, or this triangle pattern, which is basically the width of the channel, if you want to just keep what the channel line is, the channel comes from taking that angle, just putting it back down to the first candle closes we got down here. You take that and put it where it broke out of that channel, and it brings us down here to our measure move target, which has been down here for a while at $52,662, and she actually went down to 52,272 right there. And that one, my friends, is my 786er on this chart. I'm over on the Coinbase chart, and that's where that came from. We came right down, and we touched it on this chart. Not on the other one I was showing you a few minutes ago, but on this one, we touched it. It came down. You will see variations between exchanges and exchanges on the TA, so it can be perfect on one exchange and a little bit off on the other. Be willing to accept that. And the same thing is true. I need to see it get above here, this 55 golden Fibonacci right here, the 618. That was what we were hoping would hold, but it didn't. Now watch this. See that's the 618. It's a yellow line, right? And if we come from the last high that we, from the last high that we had, it's right at the 382 area. If we come down from swing high to swing low, for the home move, that's 618 Fibonacci, and here's where we come into my strategy and how it mingles and makes sense with the fibs. Is the 236, and you always hear me say that when we have a big pull like this one, this is my accumulation zone. And it could be, we might be going through a little bit of accumulation. It doesn't suggest that though. The other idea is that if we can't get past there, it's a 618 on the small pull, which is where there will be orders, bot set, and everything to sell from people buying down here, the traders. Now we could roll over, but you know that 236 area, I mean, it's still a sign that might be setting us up for the higher low. The higher low's down here. So my game plan for this weekend, if I can, is as altcoins go up and as Bitcoin goes up, you know, more on altcoins than my Bitcoin, taking profits, and I may actually start looking at building a short here over in these areas about 55,000. That's my game plan. Well, that's about it for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at some altcoins, man. We got Dr. Bimmer here saying, what up? Hope everyone's having a good night. Striker looking surprised. Celinda says, double eclipses in October, historically very bullish. Oh, that'd be awesome. I like bullish news. Eclipses being bullish. That sounds cool. I'll have to look into that. WD Gann was also into all that stuff too. Or he did it very different than what you would think. You would think, there's an astrology. Man, that dude, he would take the actual angles, the physics involved with it, and the geometry involved with it, and the angles of the planets, and apply it to a square of 9, and you get prices. It was freaking crazy. Anyway, something along those lines, man. It's a rabbit hole with WD Gann, but there's a lot of things you can pick up that help out, like the angles, and that's where my trend line angles and importance and all those come in, and it goes deeper than that too. All you need is Road Dog Crypto with all the alpha and altcoin news. Hey Sam, how's it going? Well, the altcoin news that's so hot, I usually get from Layer GG, and he's not quite officially back yet. Hopefully he will start posting soon. I like his news. He just kind of sums everything up that's happened. Very nice and neat, and a lot of the news that I would have to chase down hard somewhere else. Let's take a look at a few altcoins. For one that might be doing okay right now. Is this not it? I'm looking for Brick, the Fortnite. Yeah, this is it. That's it. It's on Kraken. I think Crypto.com has it as well. Let's zoom out. We want to zoom out on these guys. Possible big or double bottom situation going on here. It could take a little while to actually work all this out. She went deep. Oh, you went deep. She went so deep that 618 is about all that we want to hope for on this one right now. If we were looking at Brick, I don't know. It's interesting because I mean she is in a she's got a trend line here, and it looks like she's trying to do a breakout. If we're looking at candle bodies alone, just up on the weekly though. Let's come out to another time frame. Like what's the daily look like? Daily. We should probably look at the daily. A lot more noisier on the daily. So oh man, I want to back out. I want to back out to the 3-day looks. 3-day looks workable. So falling channel, if you want to look at that idea, maybe a falling wedge idea. Is it worth it? If you get a breakout from here and go at 18 cents, is it worth it? It might be. Yeah, that's 100% move. So that would be the main play where if it goes back up to 18 cents. And could it, when's the last time it was there? Is it in there? March, May, could it possibly be there by November, December, and you get a moon bag of this and double your money? I mean, it could take that. It could take that long. That might be an idea. It's something. It's not everything. Right now, she's got to get past 10 cents and hold it, and she hasn't done that yet. Just saw that she was doing something, a little something going on today, above the 200 moving average on the 4-hour. Still got Lucy in the details over here. Let's turn Lucy off. Road dog getting tired. Trend line going on. That's cool. So for me, if I were looking to buy this, which I am not because I'm kind of jaded on altcoins right now, I'm trying to get rid of a bunch of them that I got. But this is the areas where I like to buy or add to a back if I've got it. It's got a pullback. It's likely to come up to make a higher high. Probably not yet. It'll probably make a lower high, to be honest with you. And kind of still just doing a little symmetrical triangle kind of thing. Whoa, what did you do there? You went the wrong way. I would look for 10.8 cents out of, what is this, Brick? Short term. And 10.2 cents. And it doesn't sound like a lot. This is the 4-hour chart. Let's see if that makes up anything. Let's say FOMO in. It's up above a red trend line right now anyway. 16 to 23% on just regular spot. Maybe something there. Not the most greatest in my opinion. Guys, if you got anything you want to take a look at, throw it in the chart. Otherwise, you're going to look at the ones I'm going to look at. And I'm going to look at one that you probably don't even want to look at or haven't even thought about, called Decred. I feel like that helps out a little bit. Here we go, Decred. Take a look at this one. She's at some juicy low prices again. This is one of my dark horses that I got, and she's definitely working on a Bart Simpson butt crack here, and she's even got a lower low. It's not the lowest of lows, but gosh darn it, lower than what she's been even back in 2020. So wow, this one shot up to about $250, and I think one day she can shoot up again and at least go half that amount, if not maybe that amount. There's only 21 million of these in existence or in circulation, or total supply 18 I think million in circulation, very much like Bitcoin. One of the reasons I'm attracted to it and kind of like it, but $50 target looks like a great area in my personal opinion to take some well-deserved profit in this one for just riding through all this chop mess accumulation. She did get up as high as $32 on this little butt crack right here, but now we're doing another butt crack, and I don't know how long this butt crack, I don't know how wide this cheek is. Hoping for a skinny cheek. Yeah, the only thing I got here to really guide me is my Ichimoku cloud with this red cloud that's going over here, telling me that it could be February before we start getting back up in those $22 areas. So you got that. One to put on the radar. I'm on the weekly time frame here. Me personally, I kind of like it. Now, will she go lower, or did she hit her low? And I've noticed that a lot of altcoins that I've been looking at lately The ones that have made a lower low, they've hit a 1.13 Fibonacci, meaning that could be a local bottom for them. That could be they could have a nice move up before they even come back down to visit these areas, if they do. So we might have some local bottoms on some altcoins, possible, or at least the first step before they come down to the next rung in the ladder. But for most of these, and I've seen that on a couple, so I think that's something kind of interesting. Decred is one. If I can get some dry powder together, I wouldn't mind nibbling just to add a little bit more to my bag here. Like I said, when she starts coming back to areas she's been before, you can easily moonbag it. It's going back to $22, which it does a lot. Moonbag. And it could even 2x up there. I know. Where's the 10x's? Well, they ain't out here today. We can take a look over at Tokenmetrics. Let's refresh this guy. I was looking at Decred earlier today on there. And since we got Decred up here and going over it, it's actually got a buy signal on it right now for traders. So it does have that. Seems like the TA and everything on it as well. I was looking at it for the investor summary, mostly for the valuation grade, which is 33%. So we're still in a good area where it's still undervalued. It's not overvalued at all. Technology grade is 65%. Decred aims to build a community direct digital currency whose security, adaptability, and sustainability make it a superior long-term store of value. They've been around for a while. It's achieving this aim by building the world's first truly decentralized autonomous organization. It's just a different kind of play, a little hybrid play, but doesn't mean you got to play it. I'm trying to get over Tokenmetrics. Here we go. Here's what's happening and what's not happening. Best performers today: Theta Fuel, Renzo, that's PZ ETH, whatever that is, Aragon, A&T, Sundog, and SWE. They're up between 2 and 4%. Yay! The worst performers today were Galaxy, GAL, Gravity, Simon's Cat, Beldex, and OKB token. Demo's recently turned bullish. I haven't looked at that one in a while. I haven't even checked the balance and hooked it up to the car or anything lately and checked on it. I did get one of those little guys. See how it does. Recently turned bearish to Synapse, Beam, Maps, and Lattice. You can see we're a strong sell with our bull and bearish indicator here. Long-term trend. People are getting scared. They're selling off. When we look at our indicator here for a Bitcoin versus altcoin season, we are definitely right smack in the middle of Bitcoin season, and we have been for a long time. And I want you to think back how many YouTube thumbnails and influencers were talking about an altcoin season just right around the corner. I've been hoping for rallies around the corner, and they've not played out as well as I'd hoped. And when they do start going up before they come back down, everybody's thinking, oh, to the moon, we're all right. But, you know, we're nowhere near altcoin season, and Bitcoin dominance and all those indicators kind of spell that out for us. We haven't looked at our indicators. Here we are with total 3. What I like about total 3 and think that we can get a bounce up with our altcoins, I think we looked at it on a different chart, but here's what we don't follow over here. We've been in a downward channel, and we picked through it, but we found our support, and also at this blue line, this measure move line that we've had, a place where it can find support. $529 billion. In other words, nailed it. So we got hope for, this is a 4 hour, so this weekend there may be, the whales may play with us a little bit this weekend, and we may get a little pump in some of these altcoins, a few 20, 30 billion, maybe. If it does, I got sell orders to get paid. Get me some dry powder, because, you know, in channels, you just go up and down, baby, until you don't and break out. It should break out eventually, but probably not today. Now, when we take a look at Bitcoin dominance, she's dropping right now, losing a level right down here. That helps with altcoins, or could. Using Bitcoin dominance is going down, and if Bitcoin can just hang sideways, we got something good. Now over here in this part, this is our look at the legacy market, which kind of affects what's going on right now. We should probably talk about that. That's S&P 500. Because I'm seeing I need to check out something there. Oh man. Yeah, SPX right here. See, I've had this area marked right here a long time ago because we were back in March. We had some people come in and tell us the world's going into the hell in a handbasket, and at the times it wasn't really showing that. I think it was more in May. The sell in May walk away mentality, and that was not the picture. But I pulled out my trusty fibs and I got a reversal area up here, and it nailed it, not just once but twice. It's one of those. It's a top area. And it looks like it's playing out. So what does that mean if that's true? We're doing a double top over here on SPX 500 tech stocks. She's already down to the 100 moving average. Well, that's not great. She lost it before, probably coming down to the 200. That will confirm a double top bottom measure move that would take us down here somewhere around 45, meaning that over these next few weeks and months that we could be looking at a decline in tech stocks in the legacy market. Now, what I've got to do now, just to see if that idea is valid, it's not confirmed yet, but I was expecting a double top scenario. I would hope that it would break through. That would be bullish as all get out, but this is like a 3.618 area, dude. It's like we shouldn't really come up. Or a 2%. It's a top area that we should get a big correction from. And so right now all we got to go by is some trend line ideas, and that alone spells this out too. We came down, we came back up, bearish retest of this. Legacy market is something's getting ready to happen over in tech stocks, and it's going to spill over. It could spill over to crypto. This is part of the slap of reality that's in my title tonight. To kind of keep us awake with some of what the bigger time frames are saying. Bitcoin is parked at a place where it's meant to be confusing right now. It gives them a chance to best take advantage for whatever's happening. Whatever happens in this market, they can nail us for the best for maximum pain. And they like it when we're confused and don't know, and this market is. So what other... She already came back to here. She's likely to come back down and retest that 200 moving average, go in there. So this is kind of like back in August. When the market did this, let's look at what's going on. This big dump here was the big dump that got us all in crypto and everything, right? She came back to the 236 moving Fibonacci. She stuttered before she got there, right at the same area she's at now. She stuttered there, looked like she was going to bounce, and everything but hunky dory. Remember, we had a trend line there. Let's spell this out the way it was playing out, because what I'm seeing is a warning sign. I mean, a real warning sign, and we got time to play it. We might get a little, if we get a relief rally, I highly recommend taking advantage of it. I do, just to be on the safe side. So this is what we're looking for as a trend line. This is the one that we kind of retested bearishly. Looked like we broke back into it, but it didn't. So we're right back at these same little areas before she did something a little bullish, and then nosedived right back down here. And we might see something the same. This next week, we might see a little rush on tech stocks. And if she doesn't get over a certain area right there, man, that she may be in some trouble. That special area that she needs to get past to actually turn bullish and not become a bear. Well, the bear is nasty, the bear is mean, the bear don't like, the bear want to kill you and take all your money. The bear is like to steal your money, rob you blind, and then live in your house rent free. Those areas are 55, 29, and 55, 55. I can't drive 55, 55. Double nickels. You can't forget that one. So, I kind of see that maybe we might come down, play around with this 100 moving average, and then retest these areas and maybe roll back over. Hopefully, that's the bullish scenario. The other scenario, just come down and confirm this little double bottom area, and then come up and just dump on our asses. So clearly I've got the most hopium, most bullish scenario there, other than just breaking up and going to the skyward. But come on now, let's get real. This was the top area. So how low can Tao go? She was back at, she was $50 when I started following her. 50 to 70. Well, that's Tao, which is, what the hell? We're everywhere. I'm on the daily too. Let's clear it out. There's some rounding. I like the rounding. The rounding is cool. Let's take a look at Tao. Probably need, this is one, it's worth doing because, you know, this might be worth holding for. I'm trying to narrow down some coins. I'm trying to figure out which ones I want to actually hold, which could make me some money, and Tao might be one. Let's look at it a little bit deeper. Let's take a look at BitTensor over here on Tokenmetrics. Right now for traders, she's got in the sell zone. They're telling you, dump it all, dump it now. Why they want to be that mean, I don't know. Technology grade is 78%, valuation grade at 8%. So even here at 233, well, yeah, it would be because it was really cheap before. Circulating supply is 7.3 million Tau. Total supply is 21 million, kind of like Decred we just looked at. All right, so I was hoping to see your valuation grade is a little bit, she's considered to be on more on the overvalued than undervalued, even at its low prices here. I don't really like this. I need a bigger one. MexC probably has, yeah, MexC's got the chart. Yeah, we were looking at Binance and they didn't have it. All right, so let's get rid of, well, let's check, see if we got anything smaller time frame. Just a bunch of chops coming back down to 6180 area. Let's get some fresh views. Zoom out on Tau. Now we got some bigger chart history here. She had her heyday, man, $755, man, that was cool. Swing high, just swing low to swing high, tell me where I need to buy, and she's already tested this area a couple of times before. Dipped a little lower last time. This is a possible bottoming area. All right, so in the bigger scheme of things, I just kind of marked out some areas there. But where we are right now, we've lost our 618, so yeah, we are more likely to come back down to about 205. Hopefully that will hold. If we can make it, we need to make a lower low, kind of like what Bitcoin did today, and went down to a smaller area. 185 looks like it could be on the table there. We did not make a higher high, so there is the danger of making a lower low. So what would that be? First one we look at is 135. Let's not get too... Doesn't mean that we're going to go there at all right now. But she's on the table. So Tau, what we're hoping for is that she will just double bottom it, and this will be the bottom of the range, somewhere between 200 and where we are now, 233. Is that going to happen? I mean, gosh. This is the range that we got on volume range profile, fixed range volume profile, and now it's suggesting that we can pop back up here to 245. I mean, of course you can see that we can range, we can go low before we get back up there, but the little magnet area, that's what they call it, is 277 right there, so we got that idea. I think I'll keep that white. betwixt me fibs. Except for right here, when I do swing high to swing low, she's at her 618. So there's got confluence. The 309 could be coming back into the picture for the patient. I don't know when. I don't know how many days and weeks it might take before we even think about getting up in that area, but it's possible. And 278 could be possible for upward. For downward, man, I mean, where we were at 218 and then those other areas. 205 was the one. 205. Come down to the smaller time frame. See what? Oh, do we turn our big moving averages off? Where were you on the daily? You got anything good for me? Just got the devil way up here. I don't think they can show up yet. They have nothing more to impart to me other than the bearish trend that we are on here with Tau, which is definitely in a bearish trend. 800, 600, 300, 200. All the major ones on this 4-hour time frame are flipped bearishly. It does look like that we might be able to hit these $200 areas. Maybe 185 if the Ichimoku cloud has its way. Now it looked like we got this, we got a green light here on Market Cipher for right now. So maybe short term there might be something to get a little relief, but man, 268 to 278 in that little zone right there. That's going to be tricky right there, according to what I'm seeing here with the Ichimoku cloud. She's ready to dump on us, so it kind of smells like we're getting the retest, the bearish retest, and that's what I'm saying for all altcoins, man. So for anybody that's in this, for where we coming, it's coming back up maybe 15% or something, 231 to 261. So could have some kind of plan. There might be a short plan. They might look for some shorts up in these areas because that don't look healthy. She looks like she could really continue coming down. I know you said that she should. I thought you said she's going to round out. That roundy can come way down, man, to like 150. Roundy all the way down here to these areas, man. So altcoins are going to test our metal over these next few weeks, and just because Bitcoin starts taking off when that halving's felt doesn't mean that immediately that altcoins are just going to instantly recover. I mean, between now and then, between now and mid-October, maybe late October, maybe into November, they could still be kind of iffy. So we got to keep a close eye on some of the bigger indicators, the price action and everything on the bigger time frames. Here you are on the weekly for Tau, bigger time frame. Down, red dot, down. That one has more to say than the 4 hour. He says, oh, we might get a little pump here. That's the things we got to keep in mind when it comes to our altcoins. So I am looking for any opportunity for prices to come up so I can de-risk. And what I'm doing with every altcoin that I have is I have a Fibonacci swing high to swing low for what we've been working on for the past month or so. And basically at every Fibonacci, I'm going to have some kind of sell orders selling off part of my bags to help get some dry powder or finagle these things. Mostly I've got all these on spot margin because there's margin involved is why I'm doing it this way. Because if you don't have money circulating all the time, if you're trying to diamond hand this and hold it for long term, it's not, you can do better just on spot, in my personal opinion. You don't have fees and things like that, or they're constantly just taking at your account. So you got to have money circulating and playing that. And honestly, I'm getting tired with as many altcoins as I got over there. I had the bright idea of moving all my altcoins that are just sitting in my wallet, not doing anything over there, and putting a little leverage on them, and you know, it's tedious because I have too many of them. Dr. Dimmer says OP Optimum. Let's take a look at OP. It's one of them that I'm also playing at the moment too. She's at 136, not bad. Are these some areas that we're looking at where she could find some support and resistance? And well, it is support here, and then it's resistance. So that's how the fibs work. Well, let's zoom out a little bit. What we got? Did you make a lower low? Broke a trend line. Optimum, look at you, and a bearish retest, the first of hopefully you have more than just that one. Not the greatest look for optimism right now, ladies and gentlemen, just to be honest with you. Let's see what we can pick you at. Where I'm on Binance, let me get a bigger chart. Bybit, Coinbase wouldn't. They're usually the last ones to the party anyway. Binance, a KuCoin should have a good chart. Well, there we go. What the hell is this? Pardon my French, but was this back in years ago or something when I drew these lines? When is this? Summer 2023 something? Wow. Back before I know what I know now. I know this sounds crazy and probably don't want to hear it, but 63 cents could be on the table. I'm not saying it's going to happen now. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, but you know, over the next few weeks, I could see some situation happening where 63 cents could be a price for optimism. What would make that happen? I don't know. I just know here on the daily, if we take a look at the old MACD indicator here, if I can ever get her pulled up. Hello, MACD. We gotta click this one. Is this the one? She's choppy and bearishly choppy. She's been kind of bearishly choppy. His price has just been slowly coming down, and I can expect it to look like that all the way down to 62. God, it sucks. I wasn't expecting that. That's the daily. Let's take a look at the 4 hour, see what she looks like. Oh, moving averages look horrible. She's below the 200 moving average. She might try to regain it. The 50 still up there. It's cross bullish and then bearish, and still over here. She's broke that trend line. She can come back up to it. Will she? I don't know, man. To me, there is a little bit of rounding going off, kind of like what we were looking at on the other ones. I see a little bit of a roundiness. I need to zoom out a little bit. So something along the lines of this might be what we're looking for. Now I've got down to 64 cents, maybe just 90 cents. Maybe it wicks down through here and does some stuff, but we might be getting a rounding shape, and we like that. That's accumulation. It's a slow process of accumulation for that to happen. So you have to be patient trying to play this one. Bottom range here, we're going back to $1. So, you know, I mean, there's some percentages to be made playing the ranges. I think I'll just pull out the range tool and go with that idea. Suggesting 113 up to around 157 and playing that range. I think even if we include other ideas, we get a little bit bigger of a range, maybe up to 251. That'd be cool. Shoot, you go back to 251, that'd be awesome. It seems to suggest that might be a possibility. So we looked at this trend line, and I guess we got to talk about this idea because I didn't. But if we do break above this trend line, yeah, that's the only way that would happen. You have to break up above this trend line, and then we can get a bullish move that could make up that ground. It's on the table. It's just, will it happen? And that's at, so if we start seeing us go to 174, something like that, and holding that area. So I would pay attention to the trend line, and that can help you figure out whether you need to short it or long it. Because if she can hold up here, maybe it's time to go in hard. If she gets up here, maybe not even make it up there. It starts rolling over. Maybe she just goes to the 200 moving average, starts rolling over. It might be time to start looking at the short. Or adding to one. Slinda says, blow off top for S&P and crypto in October and November. I hope so. I hope so. I mean, by our 4-year cycle plan, which is not failed. It's not failed. It's pretty solid, even though every time, this one's different. We should be okay. We should be, but I'll be damned if this is just not one of the most... They got us right where they want us. They're like putty in their hands, and I mean, if you're in leverage, you might be at their mercy, and that's the scary part. And that's the ones that they can really manipulate. But yeah, we should be doing good in October and November, and my fingers crossed that that's true. But I'm not seeing it on that monthly MACD and on some of these monthly indicators. I'm not seeing it though, so I got to weigh this out. Because if anything's truthful, it has always been the charts that have been the truthful. It's just been the interpretation of letting, well, this got to happen this way. It's got to happen this way. That's been wrong. Striker says ads on stream are bullish. Sam West says I've been riding the Ordi roller coaster since February. What is Ordi looking like? Ordi's at some prices right now. I don't. You come to a messy chart where you just like to do it all over again. Let's see what we got for Ordi. Since February, so yeah, when she's 50. Yeah, it makes you appreciate trend lines. This was one of the last lessons to click in my head. I don't know why. It should be one of the first ones you learn, right? But using the trend line to tell you when to get the freak out, and it's still hard to do. So yeah, all the little trend line tricks. But there's the bearish retest right there. But you can always go back and look for hindsight. That is really says, yeah, man, I need to pay more attention to these dang trend lines when what they tell me. Because they will tell you what you need to know. So for right now, that's kind of works. It's not the greatest. We're looking for a falling wedge, which, man, these are one of my most favorite patterns to trade, and I just have not seen enough of them lately. I keep seeing all this other weird stuff. Well, not weird stuff, but other stuff. But falling wedges, they're awesome, and it's possible doing a point of decline here. We got that. Not saying that she can't go cheap or anything, but she's getting closer to where eventually she's going to break out of this, and this is a nice wedge. So you can expect to start seeing $80, $90 again. But it sucks when you get in a situation, maybe you get underwater on something, even if you're holding spot, buy something at 50 and find it down at 28 and then have to wait for it to come back to 50 like a year and a half later, and you're like, and you get all that opportunity cost that you could have been putting that money somewhere else. And it happens to me too. I've been a bunch that I've had opportunity because I got spread out in too many coins. I'm advising against that. It's a bad habit. Some of these other influencers out here too, especially I know one morning guy does because he's in the same group I was in, and I believe the core issue of that is because if you're in a trading group or some kind of signals group or something, you got 10 to 20 coins maybe a day that's being thrown out at you, and you're picking something, and if you're not really meticulous at controlling your risk management or controlling what you're doing, the little trade could turn into a bag. You're holding a bag. There's all kinds of scenarios, or maybe you take your eye off that ball and that one because you're juggling so many, and you end up with bags of coins. sometimes you just want to get in everything. You know, it gets to be a bad habit, and that's opportunity cost, and that's one of the things that I'm struggling with. And my beautiful plan to shrink them all down and put them in the Bitcoin, well, it's a beautiful plan. It still is. The market just did not cooperate with me, and we've dropped. So, yay. But I'm grateful for the opportunity and for the patience and for the experience to tell me just hold on, but just protect yourself and make it. But getting back to Ordi, what we look for is a partial decline, according to Thomas Bukowski, and that's where we start seeing price kind of level off on a bottom range here. And that's the first signs that she's hopefully getting ready for a breakout at some point. Now, that's not saying today, tomorrow. That could be like 3 weeks away on the daily time frame here. But more likely to hold here and go upward than it is to break down. But then again, she can break down. And if she did, it would suck and take us back down to these areas of about 20 bucks or so. So, well, there's the flip side. Looking at the 4 hour, how's she looking on Ordi right now? Ooh, she's taking a hit. She's still taking a hit. Candle bodies. Okay, you still got a trend line. I don't know about how well your channel looks. That looks kind of weird. That's kind of a channel idea from way back here. You can kind of doing. It's a lattice. You can find a lattice on here, and that's kind of cool because all these angles matter, and you'll see them in different spots, but that angle just seems to stay true, and it's just kind of crazy when you start noticing things like that. Eventually it will start breaking down a little bit, but you'd be surprised at. But if you have an angle and that's all you got an angle and a dangle, say price just drops, and that's all you got to go with, and she bounces right there. Well, at least you got that angle, and that angle might give you the little edge you need to know, hey man, oh, we're in this channel. Maybe we can play it that way. Just little ideas like that kind of help out, I think. Help me out sometimes. You also got measure moves for channels, which are fairly accurate, not 100% accurate, but fairly accurate. But that does suggest that the bottom of this trend line, although you didn't want to hear it, but $15 could be on the picture if this trend line breaks. If she doesn't break, then we could be looking at 38 again, and that would be awesome. That's cool. Will she break? That's the question. Is that what's on your mind? Well, here's the thing. Swing high, swing low, rejecting off the 618. And we're below the 236 where we were before, so that's iffy. Now we gotta take another pull. Swing high to swing low. And did you bounce back there? No, you haven't. Okay, that was before. She's trying to get past that area, so we want to see her roll. We want to see her get past $30. Definitely must see it get past, what is this, 29. If she can't get past 29, I think 29.11 is what I got on this chart. That's a sign. That could mean the breakdown. So imperative that we get past, what is this, 29.13, 20. If we get 29.20 and hold that, it should be a better sign. If we can't, that's gonna be scary if we're more down. Derek Adams says first, hey man, how's it going, my man? Well, guys, I've been out there for about an hour and a half. It is time for me to go. I appreciate you for hanging out. And just trade carefully on the weekend, lackluster weekend. This week has went by really fast. I think I'm spending too much time in the charts, not touching enough grass, and it's just making time just go crazy on me. But Bitcoin is at 53.8. It does look. Oh, did we go over this idea? This is another one. I put this in. I think I put this in the Telegram group. For local patterns, if you were trying to figure this out, we're in a downward channel, and if you took that measured move, I just think it's interesting. These little simple concepts. Following this idea, put it at the breakout, and it gives you the area where we should bounce from, come down to. That one coupled also with a few other ideas We've already showed this one, but the 618, whoops, or I mean the 786 bounce. And now the thing is, we gotta get past 55 on Bitcoin. We need to do that this weekend. I would like to see that. Now, if you're looking at this channel idea, if we get past 55 and hold it and get back in that channel, they could push us up to 57, and that would be cool. And that could solidify that maybe this is our lower low, and that maybe we'll start seeing some other areas around 64, 65. That's the hopeful scenario that could be playing out right now. But there is a bigger picture of things where we could, after we get up to these areas, as high as we could go, even as high as, you know, in the 63, 64,000, not making a higher high over here could roll us right back over, and we could go to some of those scarier prices, lower 40s like they're talking about. We don't have to, but right now we got the first signs that we may have a higher low if we can hold it. So let's let the whales play their little games and mess with our heads this weekend and altcoins and things, and see how they do. But keep in mind, the signs to look for is where we start rolling over, and there is that we can't hold. We give us the signs to look for and help us figure out what to do. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Be back again tomorrow night. Where's that end screen?
Come on, come here, bud. Come on. You freaky dog. I don't need to analyze. Every word that comes out is a lie. Make it look like it's so ice, ice, ice. You won't make it to the finish line. Now if you gotta know the truth was kinda let you
Tonight's musical guest is Scrotum Frog. Enjoy.
When you trade crypto, and when the market's off to the side, labor hands drop as prices go down. Where's the high? Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not in crypto right now, you are missing out on one of the biggest opportunities in your life. Hit that like button, join and subscribe, and enjoy Road Dog Crypto.